Hey, don't let anything hold you back from taking your ideas and bringing them to market. And I don't care how old you are because you can do this at any age. That's why I want you to watch this video. Okay, everybody, Stephen Key here for InventRight TV, and I have a couple of really special guests, but I also have one of our best coaches at InventRight, Courtney. Thank you for joining us as well.
Absolutely.
Courtney, this is kind of special because we have a program at InventRight where we think it's really important to help young adults, kids that
Mhm.
have ideas that want to learn about the licensing business model. And we have two young inventors here, Charlotte and Wyatt, that are inventors. But let's start at the very beginning. How did we get to know these two wonderful inventors?
Yeah, so we have an award with Invention Convention. And through that, we went through, I think it was maybe over 250 different inventions that we reviewed, all ages, K through 12. And through that, we picked as one of our award winners. They are a team together, Charlotte and Wyatt. We reviewed their material that they created and their video and their project. And we found a lot of special things in them collectively, and we knew that they had to be one of our winners over at Invention Convention, and now they're with us.
Well, okay, so we picked them, but there's a reason why. Their work was done very, very well. But they've been inventing. In fact, I'm going to ask Charlotte and Wyatt, you've been inventing for a long time, haven't you? This was not your first invention, was it?
Probably not. So I know me and Wyatt started Terrius in eighth grade, right, Wyatt? Eighth grade? Yeah. And then so before that, um I like to invent a lot of stuff out of cardboard versus prototypes. And then you can
Hmm.
see I actually do like making cardboard sculptures in my pastime.
Okay.
I know Wyatt has one in his room right now. And
Yeah.
then I also like to do engineering and like outside extracurriculars such as robotics and Odyssey of the Mind. And I find a lot of passion in inventing in those areas.
How about you,
Um,
Wyatt?
yeah, so I actually kind of make stuff in my garage in my spare time. I used to do a lot of making stuff in there, kind of like Charlotte said, with cardboard. I've also played around with some other stuff, but I just really like to make things in general.
Well, that's music to my ear, especially making things out of cardboard. I consider myself a paper engineer, whatever that means, but I do like to create something from nothing. I think that's something that Courtney believes in too, right? There's
Yep.
something magical about that. Okay, so you like to invent and you always enter this contest, right? Invention convention, and you do really, really well. But you've done it many times, haven't you? It wasn't just the first time, was it?
Um, yeah, we've competed in Invention Convention for 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what is your product? Can someone share with me? Can we well maybe we shouldn't disclose that. Okay. But what industry is it in? That's a better question.
Our industry is kind of packaging and shipping materials.
Okay. Which sustainability, right? I mean, that's really a big thing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in that industry a little bit too. So you came up with an idea. Did you protect it at all? How did you protect it?
Yeah, so we actually won a provisional patent at the state level for Invention Convention. And so we currently have a provisional patent. We also have applied for a second provisional patent to cover some other modifications to the invention, and we've also applied for our first utility patent.
Oh, gee, that's amazing. Um, wow. I think the first time I applied for a patent, I was 30 years old. So that's kind of crazy. So can you at your age, I mean, you're both in high school now, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you do that when you're in high school, apply for a patent? I guess you can, right?
Yeah. I think actually, well, when we first applied for our first utility patent, I think it might have been in eighth grade. And then, or I mean, provisional, sorry, provisional. And then I think in last year, in our freshman years, when we applied for our utility patent.
That's nice. Wow, that's impressive. Okay, so you protected it. You probably have built some prototypes, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you put together some marketing material. I mean, what's the best way to show someone your invention?
Well, I think probably the best way to show someone our invention is really to have them feel it themselves, because one of the things that makes it so special is its properties.
Oh,
And that in and of itself isn't something you can really get online. I think it's something that you really need to just be there for.
okay. So you pitched your idea recently to one of the largest privately held package companies in the United States recently. Isn't that correct? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what was that like? How nerve-wracking was that?
I think it was I think it was a really good experience because I feel like a lot of people get intimidated by the big names of the companies, but when it's really a face-to-face call and you're really just calling them to go pitch your idea, I feel it's more I don't want to use the word like casual, but I guess it's less nerve-wracking than most people hype it up to be because I guess when it really comes down to it, it's really you pitching your idea to another person. And I feel like there really shouldn't be anything that nerve-wracking about it. You know what I mean?
Good for you. And did you do it on Zoom? It was on Zoom, correct? Or Skype or some type of
Yeah, yeah,
online?
Yeah.
some sort of VC call.
So when you were pitching it, I'm sure you had a sell sheet and you're showing that. What type of questions did they ask you? Do you remember?
They asked us questions kind of about the viability of our product. They asked some stuff since we're also in the environment and sort of sustainability area. They asked us some questions about its sustainability and how well it did in terms of environment, how friendly it was not just in use but in production. They also talked about manufacturing it since we're in the packaging industry.
Okay.
And overall, the questions were obviously about the feasibility of the product in general.
Oh, wonderful. So you both have LinkedIn accounts?
Yes.
Well, not me.
Or
Um, we ran into some problems, and I guess I'm too young, and so that happened.
Okay. Well, okay. Courtney, what was it like working with these two inventors? Could you share a little bit about that experience for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty incredible because when we come to the college, they're passionate about it, and obviously you'd hope that everyone is always passionate about the idea that they're moving forward with, but unfortunately, that's not always the case. And it's really cool for them to come to the call and be passionate about their product idea and want to make more and more movement each time and reach out to more companies and figure out why they're not responding, how to get responses, change up the scripts, and it's very cool because it invigorates me as well to be able to coach them. It's quite a back and forth opportunity for education, but also for that passion to be reciprocated.
So what does it feel like now that you've gone through the process? You've come up with an idea, you know how to protect it, you know how to do the marketing material, you know how to pitch it to a company. What does that do now? Has it changed? Has your thought process changed about your next invention or what you're going to do differently now that you know the whole process?
I feel like a lot of doors have definitely opened for both me and Wyatt because when I was younger, I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way. Like if I'm inventing something, there's just no way I can get it onto like out there. And then I just realized through through training with Courtney, it's actually not as bad as one might make it out to be because I feel like what people don't know are like the steps that you have to do to get to this point. And I feel like once that's really clear to someone, I feel like with enough motivation, they could get their product out on the shelves. And I feel like with Courtney's help, that was really or the gates have been like opened for me in that regards.
Yeah, the product licensing, I think it's perfect, especially for people that maybe don't want to start a business, maybe they're going to school, but you still have an opportunity to show your creativity to companies, and if they like it, they will license it from you. So you can still be in the game of innovation while you're going to school, right? Or whatever you like to do. So what's the future for you guys? What are you thinking in terms of when you go to college? Are you thinking about college at all? Yes, I bet you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you are. Okay. And what do you want to major in? What do you want to do? Have you thought about that? I'm sure you have a little bit too. Charlotte,
So,
what do you want to be? What do you want to major in?
um, I guess when I'm older, my dad has had kind of like an influence on me. So, and since I do enjoy robotics a lot and I do enjoy the engineering aspect, I might want to go into either CS or Mechie and then
Oh,
pursue, I don't know, other doors that open up for me there. And then we'll see where that takes me.
that's nice. Why, what about you? What do you want to do?
Well, actually, funny story. I was just thinking about that last night. I don't know really. I like a lot of different things, and I'm still keeping my options open for now, at least.
Good for you. Good for you. So how important was it to have someone helping you guys along the way?
It was majorly important. I'd say, without Courtney, we definitely never could have done or gotten this far. She and the InventRight team, they were a great help. We would have never known what a sell sheet even was without their help. And so Charlotte and I are eternally grateful for that.
Wonderful. Courtney, thank you for doing such a great job. You're an amazing coach. And thank you for bringing these two along and showing them that the door open innovation is open. There's no barriers. You can do it at any age, at any time. You just need a good idea and you need a roadmap. So, Charlotte, Wyatt, please keep in touch with us along the way. And if you ever need any help, let us know. And make sure you get on that LinkedIn page when you get at the right age and connect with all of us. Okay, Wyatt, that's really funny. You're not old enough. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, Courtney, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would actually would just love to mention one thing, which is as much as they're benefiting from the program, I am benefiting from having them as my students. It's very cool to see them at this age because when I originally joined InventRight for the very first time, I was 20. And I thought I was at 20. I thought I was too young to be successful in this industry. And it's so cool to be able to help coach and mentor them at a much younger age and to have them have just phone calls and video calls with the world's largest companies in their industry at 14, 15 is just incredible. And it's so cool that I get to mentor them. So it's quite a mutual relationship that we have.
That's wonderful. Well, I want to thank you all for coming on InventRight TV. We will follow up. If you ever have any news or have any problems, make sure to reach back out to us. And thank you for coming on InventRight TV.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you've got a great idea, but you're not quite sure exactly what to do, and you want the pros to do it, and you want the pros to do all of it, please consider reaching out to us on Gateway, where we handle everything for you. We will find those right companies, we'll find those right people, and make sure your product is pitched correctly to get the licensing deal. It's called Gateway. Please check it out.